So those particular ones that were still on it by 1995 and still on it to this day, it just means that they're still cleaning the particular people out. That meant in actuality, those are the people that they feel are not exempt for the nonprofit organization. Also now, all of your AME churches, CME churches, and your United Methodists, your big black churches, mainly your AME. Those churches, they cannot open the doors without the American flag with the gold strip down the side. I've always wondered, why we sit up in church with the American flag with the gold strip in the middle of the damn ghetto? In South Carolina, because I grew up at AME. Now, they have this American flag with the gold strip, which is the same one that they have in your courthouses. When you see that American flag, it means it's owned and operated by the New World Order. You see, and they cannot open the doors now unless they have this flag with the gold strip. You understand what I'm saying? That is because, so now what it is but the New World Order means anytime you are under the tax exempt law, you are owned and operated by the New World Order. It's just that the bigger churches are the ones that have to have the American flag with the gold strip. But the smaller churches, even though they don't have it because there's every nook and cranny, they still qualify for the non-profit organization thing where they can get, the tax exempt. So therefore, you automatically require the New World Order and all of that, apply for that. Now it's interesting because I got a friend that wants to start speaking on the New World Order that just got out of seminary. But the problem is, he's saying he's having a lot of problems because they don't want anything to do with it in the church. Because all the black churches are owned and operated by the New World Order. So they are part of the problem. Inadvertently, even if they don't know it. But somewhere in your bigger upper echelon churches, they know what's going down. So now you can understand why this system, why you can have a group of people that can be ignorant for the last 140 years. Because it's systematically controlled. And this is the reason why in the early 1900s, they went in and closed down a particular church in South Carolina that was dealing with Yoruba, Bodun, Igbo, and each person had their particular religion that they did inside this building. And they closed it down and built them a United Methodist church, or one of these Baptist churches and all, because they can get them under that law, because they got a control over that, as well as your schools, all your black schools have to have the same tax exempt thing, whereas even though the black students just get around it, they technically by law cannot operate this stuff. And you can understand how through education and all this, how people can be fooled all these years. It's because the churches and the schools, and mainly these churches and the black colleges, are all a part of the whole New World Order. And I can't think of the bill, but anybody that's know the tax exempt thing, this is one of the actual bills that's also true. Now, we want to deal with two things. Just going down on the hard copy chip. Need some penicillin. Didn't know all I needed was some doggone lemon extract, put in the gum like the black woman saying, just take it on down. I went and got some penicillin, but I was up in there and the man said, man, you got some teeth. That's stuff in your head. You need these things pulled. And I was like, well, cool. I said, well, how much? And I mean, now, one of the teeth was actually broken off in the gum. That means he would have to go in and pick it out, which means minor surgery. Now, a tooth takes about, his talk costs anywhere from $60 to $100 to get a tooth pulled. 60, you got a good deal. You laugh about that. Now, it's interesting, this brother said, well, it was a white man, said, well, I can pull your tooth. That was 4 of them. He said, I can pull all 4 of them for $14 a piece. I said, well, no, hell no, you ain't pulling mine. You ain't pulling no $14 a piece. And then right then, I understood that this is how our people get hooked up into all of this guinea pig disease and all this particular thing that's going on. So now that's one reason for this whole AIDS thing. Now, the first thing is they have already concluded, and I got the note on this, that the black woman is the #1 recipient, and it said that it's almost isolated from it's almost isolated from the homosexual community. There's no such thing almost as AIDS. Now, not a #1 thing to have it would actually be black people mainly, and also the black woman. But it's interesting because, and this is something that I know this is going to be unpopular for me to say this, but I got to say it. They said that it was up to it was up to like 60%. But if it's up to 60%, the Spirit says add 90, because you got a lot of people walking around that don't even know it. Now it's interesting because I got to say this because what we do is not only do we get a lot of stuff from research, but we get a lot of things from spiritual people that come in, and the Spirit actually tells them particular information. You're going to have to start utilizing even your own body to give you information on a spiritual level. We'll show you how you can do some channels for yourself. Or you're going to have to start utilizing people that you know that can speak to the other side. Now, so they said that it's almost 90%. Now, one of the things that's going to be real unpopular is this. That, number one, they're saying now that you've got to get the perm out of your head for the simple fact now this is it. Do you know that this perm now, based on the black dermatologists, and also that now this stuff based on your skull, that particular, any kind of chemical, don't have to be just no light relaxer. What the hell is that? You see what I'm saying? Any kind of chemical, your skull, your brain has to breathe just like anything that's got to take in oxygen. So your skull is not a hard piece of brick that anything can go on. Your skull has pores. You see? Your skull has pores and all. You think you don't have pores, get into some bone marrow trouble and see with your ass, if you don't have somebody to donate that bone marrow, will you be messed up? Check. Now, based on that, your skull has pores, so when you put this stuff on there, there is a particular, it's almost there's a particular, this particular stuff is some green stuff that is now settling on the sister's brain, on the skull, and now it's going to the brain. Now, this stuff is filled with the actual eyes. So now they're going blind because of this particular stuff all to hit the head. You see what I'm saying? And we understand the whole thing with Madam C.J. Walker. We don't want to go into the psychology. But now what we're going to say is if you love black, you got to get to these sacred antennas and take that stuff out now. Now, also, they said that it is a complete trigger with everybody in there. Oh, you ain't right if you ain't got this stuff in there. You see what I'm saying? So now we're talking about things that you got to, things based on things that we have to start eliminating just to survive now. You see what I'm saying? Not talking about the spiritual purposes that when we get ready to go into, when you getting ready to go through this new stargate, where these spiritual centers get ready to open, you got to have the double helical structure hair, which is the double DNA hair, which is the only one, which is the most divine hair on the planet, is the double helical structure DNA hair has got to be unleashed, which has got to be at its finest point. So that means you got to get that real black stuff growing again. You see what I'm saying? And I don't care how short it is, as long as it's not suppressed. You see what I'm saying? As long as it's not suppressed. So this particular DNA structure here is the stuff that's going to lift you right off the planet. This is what you're going to go through the Stargate with. So this is some stuff that you also need to deal with also. So now, one thing you got to do is you got to take that out now. Because now it's not just a matter of just fashion anymore. Our consciousness is a matter of health purposes. And also, too, in the final days, a lot of people are going to be getting some spiritual juice, and if you don't get your juice, it's because you have that particular crown chakra set down. Now, your whole Christian mythology is based on the lamb. And the lamb is what? Lamb's wool, which is the crown chakra, which you see, which is the symbolic of an afro when you see the Jesus with the halo on his head. This whole complex of your whole crown chakra, spiritually, when the spiritual energy rises up, is based on the end result is the crown chakra. So if the end result is the top of the tree of life, and doggone, then we know that in actuality you suppress it and all other things just shut down. So we want to deal with those things also too. Going right along with things that's going on in the news. Now, they're talking about, now this is very key because they're getting ready to unleash some things, because one of the ways that they're getting ready to tell people that they got to lock black people down is because of some... Now you got the AIDS thing now, okay. We know that you cooked that up at Fort Detrick, Maryland, and we know that that's a biological warfare. You understand? Otherwise, we wouldn't have ended from the homosexuals, the next person getting it is the black woman. You see what I'm saying? You see, I mean, well, why you didn't get that freaky white woman? She's much more freaky than white, whatever. You see what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, it's going down to the black woman. But you see what I'm saying? But on the other hand, also, too, you know now, because we started changing recently, because the black woman was the last one to sell out. So all of a sudden now she going with the white man after years of the black man going with the white man. She done gave up. We understand the whole psychology behind it, because ain't no brothers out here, but still yet, messing with the beast is a no-no. Now, number one, do you know they got actual books they had out in the turn of the century, and also in the 19th century, the 19th century, in the 1800s on how to eat Negroes. There's actual book. Eat a nigger with basil. Well, now, they didn't tell you that they got another one of these guys that they doing the same time of the OJ thing. They only aired it one or two nights on TV up in New York. Got a cracker, ran an ad in the paper. I'm getting back to the AIDS thing, but I don't want to forget this. This cracker runs an ad in the paper. You know how it is. He's got these ads now. White man looking for sexy black woman, and now he got a line out the damn door. You know, because everybody wants them a white man or a white woman now. So he got a line out the door. He get these doggone sisters home, knock them in the head, and eat them. They busted this cracker house. This cracker got bones on top of the stove and pots. They didn't tell you about this new cracker. You see. Now they come to find out that's an archetype that they always been doing. They used to do millions of those things in slavery. So now all of a sudden these archetypes, what happened is to recorrect history, every now and then these crackers are supposed to be so civilized, those things will come through. You have a Jeffrey Dahmer and you got this new guy. Now going to what I'm saying, you see, please. Now, okay, you got this monkey. Now he just did this new monkey that killed out hundreds of Africans and thousands of Africans and died from this thing. Okay, now the next thing they know, they're testing it at Fort Detrick, Maryland. Now wait a minute, hold on. Wasn't that the same place that you cooked up the AIDS? Now all of a sudden Fort Detrick, Maryland is back into this thing where they tested it. But it's interesting because one of the monkeys got out, but it didn't kill no white people. But yet it killed 1,000 black people in Africa. Oh, okay, now that's one of the ethnic warfare diseases that you got cooking up. You see, you know the monkeys and the white rats is nothing but the guinea pigs. Ain't got nothing to do with that. One of the monkeys got out and no white people died. But yet all the black people, 1,000 black people done died in Zaire because of this thing. With the greatest immune system in the world. On a continent that's conducive for the immune system because it's not outside of the doggone habitat. Whereas now we know that they got over 80 million black people around the world. We don't know how long it's going to take before they get over here. Now wait a minute now. Here it is, you the beast, and every place after sacred is deadly diseases and stuff. Not now that you saying that you done dropped them in rainforests around the world to kill out the indigenous people. Check? Yes, yes. So now we know that we are right in the middle of this particular New World Order. A lot of things. Then all of a sudden, in the middle of March, because they say you got 100 days before they got to establish their new revolution, new changes. All of a sudden, in the middle of March, they got a movie coming out in the middle of March. On the diseases with Dustin Hoffman and an all-star cast of a monkey getting out from place. Huh? Outbreak, a monkey getting out and everything in pandemonium. They put it all in the doggone movie. See what I'm saying? All this stuff is countdown to the New World Order. Now, the next thing is this. You know that they're getting ready to do this whole crime thing, so now what's the first thing they did? They now have declared the gangs are the #1 enemies, with the public enemy #1 by the FBI. That means once they made a public enemy #1 by the FBI, that means that all, you see, a gang, the only thing that constitutes a gang is 4 or 5 Negroes congregating on the damn corner. That's right. You see what I'm saying? So who are they saying #1 enemies? They're saying anybody that's black. You see what I'm saying? That's not palatable to the marketplace and respectable to the government is public enemy #1. Now we got new reports that the whole gang things from the mid-1980s up was all organized inside white. That's right. That's right. Now here's some people that's organized in every corner. They got Crips and Bloods down in Mullen, South Carolina, population 6,000. Yet we can't even come together with PhDs and open up a damn candy store. Yet every person got a gold tooth on is organized. That ought to let you know that the government organized all of that. They're more organized ever. They're organized systematically across the country. Who do you think did that? Who do you think funded the operation? How do you think they got all this money and all the dope? It was all organized by the government to start a crime epidemic and a crime hysteria. That eventually the white people will say, get rid of the Negro. All a part of this particular scheme is going on. And now they've already declared, a month ago, public enemy #1. The government did a month ago. So now that means that anybody congregating in a crowd unlawfully, and unlawfully just means lottery. Just in the wrong place at the right time for the crowd. Okay, now check it out, because I'm getting ready to, okay, I'm setting you up, but I'm getting ready to show you now, this is not just a bunch of things that get ready to go down. Or just say, well, oh, so those things are news. No, I'm getting ready to show you how they get ready to do this thing in a few days, in a few months. We're right in the middle of this thing. Because they're talking about having you in the concentration camp by June. Yeah. Now, shake it up, let it alone. Now, #1, we deal with some other things. #1, we've come to find out that Richard Pryor, when Richard Pryor got burned up in 1980, remember that? Yeah. Went to the hospital. They gave the brother a lobotomy. Oh, my That's God. Why right after that he ain't never been funny since. Yes. Remember now, this brother, I remember him in 1979, he came on Johnny Carson, and the brother was sitting in the chair. He was so funny. But remember now, they had to get the Negro because the nigga had the whole TV show where he was dropping all the science in his TV show. The reason why they took it off, he was getting too black. You see? He was dropping all the science, and next thing you know, this brother was so funny. He did that one he did one lecture, the one with the White Album. He did it in 79. Got run up in 1980, and when he came out after that, the next thing you know, he in little white people movies, The Toy and stuff. He did Live on the Sunset Strip, and he would have on the red suit. He was so corny, and it was just ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? Because they gave him a lobotomy. You see? And then the next thing you know, now all this crazy stuff going down, and the nigga can't even walk, I believe. Last time, Vanessa Williams said they did the last movie he did with Gene Wilder was a corny movie. Last movie he did, she said the man was in pain 24 hours on the set. She said they had to work hard just to get a movie that would normally take 2 months to wrap up. They had to do 4 months because he was so much in pain. We just dealing with things, we just dealing with the hard copy. Now the white people now, they know that in actuality, that there's certain things that's rejected, and when I get further down, I'll show you some things. There's a lot of organs are being rejected and all this kind of things. The white people know now that based on genetic engineering, now we've already gone through the science of this, but some people want further detail. We'll deal with that in question and answer. Based on genetic engineering, they know that their particular makeup and the pig makeup is the same. So now they're getting ready to get organs from pigs, for certain gene organs from pigs. Also, they understand that based on the last year or so, they have now cleaned off the energy from these lower astral planes in which these white people come from in the first place. They're cleaned out that. And the only babies they're having are ones that was on the way before then. And so now this is the reason why they are attacking the abortion clinic, because their birth rate is down almost like I think it's 1 out of damn 7. You see. So now the white man is going far enough. He is now trying to impregnate apes to have babies, and also cows to have babies. You see, because their birth rate is down totally because the powers that be are wiping them off the planet. And their birth rate is down, 1 out of 7, you see. And now they got all these things. I know they got them in Atlanta. Every news station, every week, they got this infertility specials that's on. And all this stuff about how they're not having babies and what is happening. That's because they're not. And so now the whole abortion thing that they're pumping up is because the government has got to come in and say, you got to stop the abortion. You see, because brothers and sisters is having babies. That was all true, you know. But you got to stop it and all, because now you are killing the little babies that we are having. You see. And that's the key. And they're encouraging them, whatever kind of way they can have the babies, do it, and they're going to even pay them money. You see. That is all because, and so now they're even fertilizing apes and all this type of stuff. Now, we know that things are going down because, like the sister said, things are not as they are. You had us, sleet and snow in Egypt, and in Jerusalem, and different things like that. They ain't never snowed and flooded and stuff like that in the deserts before. That is because now we understand that we are right at the time, and when I get deeper into this mental period that we have just come out of, we'll understand that the mental is equivalent to the revelation. It's the same thing, and we'll go into that in a minute. We just want to do this hard topic right now. Y'all all right? Yeah. All right. Earthquake in Japan. Like I said before, there was an earthquake that was scheduled to hit California again, but what happened was because Japan bought up all the buildings in California, and don't like Negroes, they took on the karma. So therefore, also go look in your book of Revelation on the 6th seal. When the 6th seal is broken, I behold a great earthquake. Now you had the San Francisco and you had the LA one, and a few buildings were damaged, but this thing is not, it's way worse than what they're telling you. Yeah. I mean, they already accounted. If they say 6,000, put in 2 more thousand. Now after they said 6,000, let's say some of the 8,000, and they haven't even dug up the buildings yet. That's right. You see, they haven't even dug up the buildings yet, so it's thousands of bodies. And this, I mean, have you seen the pictures of this place? We know that the earthquake on a miraculous proportion in this dispensation of time that they're talking about in the book of Revelation is hit. So if it hit in Revelation, it means that you are right in the middle of the Revelation. And based on the Revelation period started in September of this year. And y'all stick with me because a lot of stuff is real key. And all of a sudden, things are going down as scheduled. And one of the particular ones is the 6th seal in the book of Revelation, where there'll be a great earthquake. And boom, this thing happened just like it did. You You see, these are things that's actually going on, and all because, you know, that's a mutant too, that don't love black people and love white people as well. So therefore, you know, so now they got a whole thing, now they got this mutant Asian thing going on, this Asian white man thing going on, where they're trying to even have white people say the Asians are a little bit stronger, so it's to try to cohabitate your race together. You see, with this whole thing, so they're trying to pair them up and hook them up. You see, with that, with the whole race thing, so they can try to save themselves. All kinds of things. Now, it's interesting because HBO and all of your CNN and all of your networks that's running the world, they wanted to try to get one last piece of the world that they could not get, and that particular part of that world was Asia, a part in Mongolia, where it's Tibet. So they went in with Korea to send up a satellite about 3 weeks ago, and the satellite blew up. That's right. Think about 8 fractions. Remember that? Well, HBO and the people is the one that gave them the satellite technology. They're going to come on TV saying the Koreans' technology is not that good. They know what it was sending the thing up over there. But what had happened was, it was a spaceship came, a UFO came and blew it up because they didn't want a satellite going up to that last piece of Mongolia that would get all all this destruction and this mind thing that they do on the media. So they blew up that particular thing, satellite. Now it's interesting. In 1992 LA riots, they locked up 10,000 black men. Only 1,000 came out. Next thing you know, they got trucks reported going upstate with people in them. Then when somebody questioned about it, they said, "Oh well, what it was is we wanted to train some black people on how to work, and we wanted to train them, so we had them." Yeah, you're right, to train them in work camps, concentration camps upstate. Over 9,000 black people. They already took off. You see what I'm saying? But if it don't come on TV, nobody never know nothing. Nobody never complain, because y'all ain't in the conspiracy. Well, let's say they are not. Y'all people up in here, y'all know better. You see. Now, you know the Hot Nuts program, which is going to be a big disaster. They're going to cut out this hot nuts, they're going to give it to the states. You see, if it's not remember now, if anybody understands the 60s, it was, the only way you got some stuff was with a federal intervention from the states is what gave you whatever little civil rights you did get. Now all of a sudden they get ready to give it back to the state, you ain't going to have no lunch. You see, now they know doggone well that some of these black children, it's hard enough, especially with welfare, you get $150 a month and stuff, and $150 a month.